test. Test, 1, 2.
Go ahead and do an intro.
Welcome to the...
That's fine. I'll listen to this. Pray, we don't have any other options.
Just about ready for hockey here at the ice in Cumming. Will Hopkins alongside Ren Grimsley as we bring you the Georgia Ice Dawgs and the Tennessee Volunteers. Two very high-quality teams, two teams towards the top of the standings in College Hockey South, and two teams towards the top of the standings in my hockey rankings.
Yes, it may be cold in the rink, but the Ice Dawgs have certainly been hot over the past few games, taking on Tampa last weekend and sweeping them in the 2 games they played.
And you know that feels good after some of the struggles that the Dogs have had against Tampa in the past. And talking about the Dogs being hot, it really starts in net with Ryan Testino. He's been on fire this season, giving up under 2 goals per game. That includes 1 goal allowed in the Saturday win. And he's also 1-0-0 all-time against these Volunteers.
Oh, absolutely. Having a goalie you can rally behind and keep you in the game even if you're struggling offensively is absolutely huge. And luckily something the Ice Dawgs have 2 of, including Isaac Hogan, the backup.
And on the other side, it'll be Lincoln Simons for Tennessee, the sophomore out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. A 3.11 goals against average for him. It'll be the second line for the Vols. It will be the second line for the Dogs. And the Dogs win the draw as Parente plays back to his defenseman. A giveaway in center ice as the official gets in the middle of things, as that's chipped back behind the net for Leighton Poole to get as he brings it up to Parente. And Tennessee will just send it back in deep, glove down by Testino. These teams played 3 times last year, the Dogs winning just 1 of those 3 matchups as Tennessee lays a hit back behind the net. A good block out in front by Alexander Strauss, looking to spark the breakaway with James Hedquist. Can't quite get through, though, and it seems like Tennessee is really content to just get pucks in deep and go chase after it. Hedquist on these near boards with the Dogs' first zone entry. He plays a cross shot on, save made, now out in front. Parente tries to fire in the rebound. Another good save as Lincoln Simons being tested early. Conway sticks that one down. Dogs with some extended zone time. Parente bumped off of it that time by Will Mehring. The Dogs keep the zone, though, with Gannon. Gannon over to his defense partner, Poole, who's crashing down on the play. And Tennessee gains control behind the net, trying to clear their zone. They can't do so. A great forecheck by James Hedquist, who fires one back, missing just wide. Now Conway on the forecheck, and finally Tennessee able to settle things down. and once and for all clear their zone, but it finds a Georgia stick right away. That's Ryan Bailey as he shoots one on net. Another save by Lincoln Simons, and now here comes Frazier the other way for Tennessee. He's got a couple men in support, fires one out in front. Nobody could get a stick on that one. Bailey off the boards to himself. Now long stretch pass for Mazzaros, looking to chase after it. Reverse hit on Chris Kelly in those far boards. Now Tennessee regains the puck. Isles with it, dances on his defenseman. Good stick out in front. And Tennessee looked like they had an empty net. Somehow didn't put that puck in. Testino trying to freeze it. He's not under it. I don't think he knows where that puck is. Dogs maybe getting away with one there. Some nervy moments. Luke Burnett trying to get it out of that Georgia zone. Evan Moore over there as well fighting. Testino was sprawled onto the ice and was lucky that puck did not find the back of his net. Maybe got a chunk of it. Stretch pass over the head of Mazzaros will go just to the left of the net, all the way down for icing in our first whistle, 2.5 minutes in.
So far, we've seen both goalies make some really great saves. Obviously, you just saw Testino there go completely horizontal to get that one. But not forget Simons over there with another couple of great saves. Tennessee has a bunch of different goaltenders that they could have used. Going with Simons here, a lot of different or equal play for all three of them. So we got Simons in today, though.
Yeah, 100%. 13 games. They've had 3 goalies. All of them have started at least 2 games. But Simons, one of 2 goalies who has started 5 games, gets his 6th start here. Simons did not play against Georgia last year. Patrick Green did. So Simons' first look at the Dogs as there's a big bump. Now Alex Larsey on the puck. That's a welcome sight. He's been out with an upper body injury for the last couple of weeks. Good to see him back on the ice for the Dogs as Zach Knoll tries to make a play out in front. And Punzenberger keeps things alive. Larsey behind the net. That puck goes into the netting, and now another whistle.
And you mentioned Larsey out there on the ice. Good to see him back. He is on that third line there with Knoll and Punzenberger. The past couple weeks, the Dogs have gotten some really big offensive weapons back from injury. Hedquist a couple of weeks ago, and he performed great in that game against Delaware.
Both those games. 3 goals in 2 games.
And now it's good to see Larsey back, who was hot at the beginning of the season.
Oh, he was red hot. Looking for a chance right here, right behind the face-off circle. Instead, Tennessee wins the draw, though. Brings it back the other way. Glove down by Bill Stewart. No whistle. Tennessee fans may have been asking for something. And now big Truman Hagen gets run into by Cooper. He was trying to get something going. Couldn't, though. Dogs with more zone time than Tennessee so far. That'll be an encouraging sign for Coach Campy. As Hagen is able to get the puck to Knoll, who gets it to Bill Martin. Martin, long pass for Punzenberger, asking a lot of him, and Punzenberger can't beat the wrap for icing.
And a lot of back and forth so far in this game. I think it's kind of what we were expecting. 2 really good teams with really good records here. Only one true loss between the 2 of them, and that was Tennessee with their 1 loss.
Yeah, the Dogs in second in College Hockey South. That's just off of goal differential. Tied on points with South Carolina, and Tennessee just 1 point behind that. So it's really bottled up towards the top in College Hockey South, a real competitive division. And you know these teams would love this win here, get that head-to-head off the right start, and especially for Georgia with those 2 losses against Tennessee last season, and also set the tone for the weekend with the big game tomorrow. That's the football game we're talking about, of course.
Oh, absolutely. Only 1 hockey game, so this is important to get a win here.
Yep, 1 game in D1. We've got D3 after this, and then D3 again on Sunday. But for now, we'll focus on D1 here on the ice. As Larsey is skating back towards his own net. Spins around nicely, but pass only finds a Tennessee stick and gets. Gets going back and forth with Mehring. Hit on Stober over here by the captain Whitwer. Georgia really not letting Tennessee have much control of the puck when they do bring it into that Georgia zone. Strauss with the exit through Whitwer. Whitwer was trying to get it towards Green, instead intercepted by Tennessee. Good forecheck though, chance out in front for Green, fires just high. Was trying to beat Simons over his shoulder, did not miss by much. Tennessee clears the zone with Cohen. Strauss back in defense. Can hear that communication from the Dogs. And that one's gobbled up by Testino. And we'll have a face-off right in front of him to his right.
The Dogs, we want to get the little things going. The Dogs have been really good on the face-off this season, so getting it out of the zone here, and limiting the number of chances Tennessee gets, that's really what it's all about this game. Keeping it in your zone, because we know this Dogs offense is going to do really well, but limiting offensive chances for Tennessee as well.
First line out there for Tennessee. Frazier wins the draw. That one's batted towards the far corner, and now Cohen chasing after it. That one behind the net. Trying to get it towards Parente. Good job at the point to keep it in for Tennessee, and an easy glove save for Testino.
And you got to love those as a goalie, the ones that just come straight into your glove.
Just under 5 minutes played, still scoreless. And big Connor Frazier out there for the draw for Tennessee yet again, 6'3", 200. But instead the Dogs come away with it. And now coming the other way, tried to dance on it was Hedquist, couldn't quite beat his man. Tennessee player goes down to the ice pretty easily, maybe trying to draw a call. Nothing there though. And now Ani plays pass with his partner, long stretch pass, and as long as Poole gets there, it'll be icing, and he does.
Back in the Georgia zone, we got this second line on the ice. This line that's done really well this season, been huge offensively, and they were the starters for this game, so there's a lot of confidence in them, both to get it going and just to score goals.
And for Tennessee, that first line's been out there a good bit, and after that icing, they've got to stay out there. So once again, it's Frazier and Conway on the draw. Goes over to the left winger, Isles, for Tennessee. And now that one all the way down. Georgia's saying that went into the bench, but no call and also no icing. Some confusion and palms up from the Dogs. And now Tennessee into the zone with Ani. Ani has one hit a skate out in front. Big hit in the slot. And now we've got a whistle. And a hand pass will be the call. So no penalty, but a chance for Tennessee to get that first line to the bench who had been out there for a while.
Yeah, huge for them to get some fresh legs. I thought the puck did go into the bench and maybe got deflected in, but no call from the refs. And then right there, I thought there could have been a penalty on Hedquist there after some pushing and shoving.
Yeah,
but
some interference maybe.
Possibly.
Third line out there for Tennessee. Now that's Pavic, Carroll, and Hurlburt. And Tennessee, they've done a good job on draws so far. Shot from the point. Save made by Testino. Second chance out in front. Save made again as Hurlburt was trying to punch that one home. A little bit upset with the quick whistle. But the Dogs will say thank you very much, and Testino will live to see another day.
Yeah, it's been a super balanced game so far. Only 6 minutes into the game, but really been very back and forth. I think this is what we were expecting, as I said earlier. Two really good teams, and it's shaping up to be a good game.
Yeah, I think Georgia would be a little disappointed with the face-off performances so far. Don't have the numbers on that, but it seems like Tennessee's really dominating in the circle. But right on cue, Georgia wins the draw. Can't clear the zone, though, as Rose keeps it in at the point. Now, dancing around is Pavic. Pavic finds Hurlburt. Now Hurlburt sends it back in deep for Pavic. Rose coming up to offer him some help. Pavic decides not to use it. And the Dogs will take that with Ryan Bailey. Ryan Bailey for Evan Moore, now for Mazzaro's backhand chance, kick save. Tries to bring it right back out in front for Bailey, but Tennessee gets in the way of that one. But a good, quick opportunity for the Dogs to get something going. They'll try to get right back in as instead, actually, Ryan Bailey will circle things back and get things set up. Approaching 7 minutes played here as the Dogs enter the zone with Moore. Moore to Bailey. Bailey looking for Mazzaro's, can't get it to him. Dogs really trying with those centering passes from their wingers into their centermen like Mazzaro's. Tennessee going to take a second now behind the net as Cooper spins back around. And now playing up the middle is Tennessee as Georgia will bat that one right back out to center. Tennessee sends it back in, has to touch up. And now Oakley fires high of the net. Testino raising a shoulder, didn't get to it. No icing here as it goes back into the Tennessee zone, and Laracy all alone on the forecheck. No score here, the ice in Cumming, Georgia. Dogs and Vols. Hagen bombarded right upon retrieving the puck. Luckily falls to Bill Martin, and now he can find Laracy, who gets it to Punzenberger. He's turning on the Jets, skating at his defenseman. loses out, though. And now Tennessee will get things going back. Big hit over there by Laracy. Maybe trying to show the coaches that he's 100%. Now Punzenberger back in. Laracy just barely on sides. Couldn't have been by much. And now Hagen with the wrister right into the midsection of Lincoln Simons.
In a long time there was no whistle. Dogs finally getting some time back in their offensive zone, though. We saw a lot of time in Tennessee's offensive zone. We even saw Dogs win a faceoff, but then immediately turn it back over. And it's just those little things that you just don't want to see, because they're not going to build you to the successful game and get you the wins that you need.
Draw won by the Dogs as Jake Green tried to shoot one pretty quickly and stun Simons. Didn't get it to work. Now big Truman Hagen. Boy, does he look large out on that ice.
Boy, does he.
Sounded like a slash over there to the shin pad of Martin, but he stays with the puck, going all by his lonesome, ends up fanning on it. And Chris Kelly will take over for Tennessee. Kelly, another big guy, 6'5", 213 out of Plano, Texas. You know what they say, everything's bigger in Texas. Tennessee content to kill some time in their own zone. All 5 Tennessee players in their own zone with 3 Dogs on the forecheck, and now a quick breakout by Tennessee, and it goes into the Georgia bench.
Here's a fun fact for you. I don't know if it's fun fact or trivia or something, but the first hockey game I ever saw in person was between Georgia and Tennessee.
When was that?
Back in 2018.
Who won?
And do you know what the final score was?
I do not.
Georgia won 22-2.
Well, it's safe to say Tennessee's come a long way since then.
Obviously, this Tennessee program in a much different spot, so props to them.
This Tennessee's first year in D1, but I think even they would tell you they did not belong in D2 last year. Way too good for that level of competition, and showing it by beating the Dogs 2 out of 3. Holding their own more than fine in their first year up at the higher level. As James Hedquist breaks out for the Dogs, and he gains the zone. Looking for Parente. Now rings it around to him, but it hops right over his stick, unfortunately, for the Dogs. And Tennessee regains possession. Dogs on the forecheck trying to break things up, though, and a great job by Hedquist to keep things alive and trying for that centering pass to Parente. Looks like that's Conway over there. Dogs really looking for those centering passes. Maybe not as much about quantity of opportunities, but looking for that one high-quality chance. Partial change from the Dogs. Parente, the only guy from his line, still out there. And a good stick by Leighton Poole. Now a potential 2-on-1 for the Dogs. Pass over to Parente. Kind of behind him, so he had to slow up for it. He dumps in deep and goes for a change as Hedquist is back there. Once again looking for that centering pass, but Tennessee really open to that. They're ready for it each and every time. Bailey sends it in the zone. Only the stick of Cohen for Tennessee. Tyler Rose on the puck. Goes up that left wing to Pavic. Pavic all by his lonesome and gives it up to Alexander Strauss, who gives it to Jack Gannon, and a chance for a quick second to breathe for the Dogs. Ryan Bailey leaves it wisely for Evan Moore. Smart play. Evan Moore trying to deke around his defenseman. Can't quite get it done. Now trying to kick it to Mazzaros. A big scrum over there. And Tennessee comes away from that scrum victorious. Carroll, cross-ice pass, and now Tennessee with some numbers 2-on-1. Looking for Hurlburt, instead takes the shot himself and fires high and wide. Still no goals, still no penalties. Over halfway through this first period at the ice. 9 minutes to go in this opening frame. Is that one glancing off the glove of Testino? Didn't catch that one cleanly at all. Dangerous pass over the front of his net in the air. Don't think he'll love seeing that. And now Mazzaros comes away with it. Mazzaros waiting, fires a pass across the net. Too hot to handle for Ryan Bailey. And now Tennessee back with it with Mehring. Mehring to his partner Getz. Now Getz to Hurlburt. Good stick by Bailey to try to slow things up, and Carroll chips in and goes for a change. Dogs working a breakout with Hagen. Hagen sends it in deep and chases before retreating to his defensive position. Good pinch up there by Punzenberger, though, to keep the play alive. Punzenberger still fighting after Knoll sent it in front. Now Laracy on it. Instead, Tennessee comes away. Hagen Holland to get over to that puck. A big hit into the boards. Some banging on the boards from the Dogs, showing their appreciation from the big hit from number 27. Zach Knoll caught out behind the Dogs' net. And now Knoll able to get it out of their zone and into the Tennessee zone. Knoll has Punzenberger out in front and Laracy behind him. At Tennessee defense, they get numbers back there and ready. They're ready, it seems, for just about anything you throw at them. Some nervy moments as that puck getting towards the bench during a change. Never want to see that. I'm sure Coach Drew King doesn't want to see that, risking that too many men on the ice penalty. But now the Dogs back with it with Conway. Conway takes a spill. Laracy, he's been out there a while up against the boards. Conway trying to lift to keep the play alive and does so phenomenally. Great play by Declan Conway. Unfortunately, doesn't have a ton of snow for it as Schneider comes away with it. Off the skate of Hedquist, though. Hedquist bearing towards the net. Fires off the shoulder. Rebound off the shoulder again. A great double save by Simons. Now a triple save. Puck loose out in front. And the Dogs just can't find the back of the net. That was Laracy over there. They keep the puck in the zone. The Dogs fans show their appreciation. And we've got a whistle. Looks like there's going to be a Vol headed to the box for the first penalty, or a hand pass. Just a hand pass. Got excited there. Want to see the Dogs on the power play.
Yeah, that was the best chance the Dogs have had so far at scoring. Though I will say Tennessee has done a really great job at not allowing second opportunities on scoring. Georgia's looking for a lot of these centering passes like you mentioned, and they're not able to quite connect, and then Tennessee is immediately taking over the puck.
Simons with a couple big saves there. Now clean shot out in front for Hedquist, and unfortunately fired right into the midsection of Simons.
And luckily stay on this side, but that's one that after a shot Tennessee would have likely taken over if it had missed.
I think that's one that Hedquist maybe wishes he realized he had as much time as he had. Fire that one into one of the corners. Was maybe more open than he thought he possibly could be at such a good spot on the ice. As Burnett tries to keep things in at the point. This one goes off of his leg, and now Cohen chasing after it. Parente fires all the way around, only finds a Tennessee stick. Great step that time by Parente. Dekes around his defenseman. Fantastic set of moves by Parente finding Hedquist. Once again, that centering pass for the Dogs just not there. Cohen finds Isles. Isles looking for Frazier, who tries to bat it out of midair. Fires behind Testino, and now Jack Gannon able to break out. Just under 6 minutes to play in this opening frame. Both teams with a couple solid scoring chances. Wouldn't say either team is really dominating more than the other. Georgia with more zone time, but haven't gotten quite the quantity of chances that they'd probably hope for with that. Tennessee, not really much extended zone time, but I think they'll be pretty happy with how they fared defensively, breaking up those centering passes for the Dogs. Whitwer sends it into the Tennessee zone, but not very deep. And now Cooper takes a hit from Bardo and gives one right back. Bill Martin in the corner fighting, and now Dan Bardo sends a ball to the ice. Dogs like that. And now here comes the captain, Whitwer. The play is whistled dead for an offsides.
And we've seen a lot of this Georgia hockey team, and much like the Georgia football team, the Georgia hockey team always seems to start a little slow. Not get the scoring that they want to in the first period as much as they do in the second and third.
Very tight game so far, and it's pretty clear that this Tennessee team is high quality, and we know the Dogs are too. A real bout here on Friday night in Cumming. It's going to take a special play from someone to break the scoring open. Will Maring, the defenseman, with a special set of moves. Bearing down on net, Testino makes the save.
The first shot from Tennessee in quite a few minutes, as it's pretty much all been Georgia offensive zone for quite some time there. Still no penalties, we should mention, but pretty clean play. I wouldn't say the refs have done anything or let anything slide.
Clean play for sure. We saw that in those two games against Delaware. just one penalty across 2 games as Evan Moore went on net. A big hit up high by Ryan Bailey on Getz. Maybe got away with one. No penalty called, and the Tennessee bench does not like it. Drew King has given the officials an earful, and honestly, understandably so. I was way up high on the Getz. Didn't see him complain, though. Dogs looking to set the tone with the physicality. Battle on this near boards. Hurlbert comes out with the win. Kokoska now to his defense partner and gets it right back. Fires it all the way down the ice. Pavic didn't get a stick on it, so the Dogs will have a face-off right in front of Lincoln Simons.
And it's hits like that one from Ryan Bailey on Getz that, you know, it's awesome sitting up high and getting a bird's eye view, but being close to the ice like this, getting to see those hits up close and see the whole board shaking.
He got a face full of boards.
Can't beat it.
He got a face full of boards. Ryan Bailey saying, I hope you like boards for dinner, huh? Dogs win the face-off.
Might be dessert with how
Bailey on it. Yeah, honestly. We're just getting started here, though. Still another game after this. Bailey takes a bit of a bump from Hurlbert, maybe trying to get one back for his teammate. Now Tennessee control. It seems like Tennessee's really content for the Dogs to have the puck in their zone as long as they're not creating high-quality chances. They're comfortable defending, which is a trait that not a lot of teams have. Everyone seems to want that puck.
But, you know, they've been effective at causing turnovers, as we see right there.
They sure have. Haven't had a ton of control and zone time in the Georgia zone, but maybe trying to play the game of frustration, see if they can get the Dogs to be frustrated with no goals and maybe send one too many guys forward and catch them on the odd man rush. Leighton Poole gets it out of his skates to Zach Knoll. Knoll gains the zone, runs into his own man in Punzenberger, and that is the end of that, unfortunately, for the Dogs. And now Tyler Rose coming the other way. 3 Vols on the ice without a last name on their jersey. Pretty happy that most of them do have it. Makes our jobs easier. Looking for the stretch pass to Punzenberger. Can't make it happen, and then Gannon tried to leave it for him, but he wasn't there. Now stretch pass for Tennessee as that's Schneider who gives it up. And now a one-timer fired wide from the defenseman. Believe that might be Cooper who missed the net. Tennessee with some more extended zone time. That one goes behind Testino, and he covers up phenomenally. A sprawling save from Ryan Testino.
And unfortunate to see that one go in. I guess if you're Georgia, it's unfortunate, but after a lot of back and forth, finally one goes in.
No, save made by Testino. It looked like it was goal bound, but sprawling save, and he covered it up.
My apologies. Good save by Testino.
Tough to see from our vantage point for sure.
That just goes to show the quality of the save.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had no business making that save. That one's up and out of play. Watch out over there as it eluded the netting. 2 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the first. Still scoreless, still penaltyless as Tennessee wants that face-off in the Georgia zone. Don't think they're going to get their wish.
Now, I predict at this rate, both teams will be content just going in at intermission, 0-0. Not going to want to give up a lot of mistakes here. Mitchell
Spranklin on the draw for Tennessee. Their leading point scorer as Testino comes way out of his crease. 20 points on the season for Spranklin. Tied for first in assists on the team with 12. Good last couple of minutes from Tennessee, and like you said, last thing Georgia wants after a solid first period is to surrender one with under 2 minutes to go. As Hedquist sends it in deep across to Parente. He fires, puck out in front. Conway couldn't quite get to it. And now Bill Martin, good ABC passing from the Dogs. Still a chance out in front, and Conway sends that one right into Simon. Some pushing and shoving, a flop from a volunteer, and this is how you know it's a rivalry weekend.
Oh, absolutely, and you got to know someone will be going to the box now.
You just hope for the Dogs it's not the second offender, which oftentimes it ends up being.
They'll likely go ahead and send whoever it is straight to the locker room, as there's only a minute and 44 here.
Looks like that's big Bryce Cooper headed to the box for the Vols. The freshman doesn't look like one. A big guy. This Tennessee team's got some big dudes.
Yeah, Cooper possibly being the biggest of them.
And it looks like the Dogs might get away with nobody going to the box here. Maybe just Cooper, or are they now sending Parente? They are. They are sending Parente.
And we have a brand new power play graphic.
Guess we'll have
Won't
to
get
wait
to use
on
it
it.
quite yet. Maybe both teams are on the power play? No,
Waiting to
that's not how
see
that
it. No,
works.
we'll be 5-on-5, it looks like. Or actually, we'll be 4-on-4. So it'll be 4-on-4 here for the last minute and 44 seconds of this period and the first 16 seconds of period 2. We'll see if the Dogs can take advantage of the extra room on the ice.
I would say usually they're looking for these centering passes, so maybe they'll be able to find one in the center. There's fewer defenders clogging up that middle.
Should be easier now as Frazier wins the draw against Mazzares. Tennessee gets things started behind their net. Breakout on this right side with Isles. Isles to the skate of Frazier. For Isles to chase back after it as Poole whacks at it. He falls to the ice, and now Strauss trying to get the puck back for the Dogs. 1:20 seconds to go in this first period. Tennessee with some zone time, 4-on-4. Shot blocked by Mazzares down to a knee. Puck evades Ryan Bailey, though, as Mehring sends it back in. Frazier on the puck for Mehring. Mehring dekes around Bailey quite nicely, especially as a defenseman. He's looking for Ani at the point. Instead, he gets it back, and either a save or a block out in front. Puck behind Testino's net. Really good period of play by Tennessee. Dogs really honed in in their own zone. Ani takes a bump from Ryan Bailey. He's been physical tonight, that's for certain. Tennessee still with the puck in that corner. Mehring over there, but Ryan Bailey comes away with it, and now looking to break away for the Dogs. Bailey's got Mazzares to his right. If he wants him, tries to get it to him, but it's behind him. 20 seconds remaining. Still 4-on-4 here as Spranklin comes the other way, loses the puck though, and now a stretch pass the other way for Hedquist. Hedquist bearing down on net, and that one's gobbled up by Simons.
Wow, what a ending so far. Still 9 seconds, anything could happen, but man, down the ice and back.
Hey, 4-on-4 hockey, that's what you're going to get, huh?
Exactly. Lots of stretch passes as we've seen. And that 2-on-1 could have been something, and then Hedquist just putting it into the stomach of Simons.
9.3 seconds to go. Conway wins the draw and hits the ice. Now Tennessee just trying to kill those last precious seconds. 2-1-0, and that is the end of the first period. Scoreless, but a few chances from both teams, especially towards the end of that period. We've got 16 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey when we come back. But first, we'll take a break for intermission. 0-0 after 1.
King, John Testino.
Welcome back to the second period between the Georgia Ice Dawgs and the Tennessee Volunteers. A homecoming game for Tennessee head coach Drew King, played here at the ice in Cumming alongside Ryan Testino's brother John. So we'll see if Drew King can have a successful homecoming, but the Dogs looking to play spoiler of that.
Yeah, some interesting little trivia there. And as we're coming back into the second period here, scoreless game after 20. Looking to get the first goal of the game here. And it's been the story of the game so far, back and forth. A lot of really good goaltender play.
Yeah, Testino and Simons at their best. They'll need to be for the next 16 seconds as there's still 4-on-4. Bryce Cooper in the box for the Vols. Evan Parente in the box for the Dogs with some extracurricular activity after a play in front of the Tennessee net. And we saw in that minute 44 of 4-on-4 at the end of the first, the scoring chances really ramped up.
Oh, absolutely. Some stretch passes, a 2-on-1 for Georgia, and then a 1-on-1/1-on-0 kind of mix there. But either way, Georgia and Tennessee both getting some good opportunities. Not much time here to go in the 4-on-4, but anything can happen in 16 seconds. We'll see.
So we've had our first penalty. Still no power play for either side as of yet. No goals, like you mentioned. Plenty of chances. A couple good saves for Ryan Testino. One really spectacular save, sprawling onto his back. A couple good saves for Lincoln Simons. We saw Georgia really look for that centering pass, even getting behind the defense and throwing that pass back behind them. We'll see if they go with that same strategy in period number 2 or switch things up. Tennessee really defended things well. So it'll be Spranklin and Conway to get us started in the second. And Spranklin wins the draw for the Vols. They've been good on the dot all night. Stober almost losing that puck on this fresh sheet of ice, but instead regains it. 5 seconds to go on this 4-on-4. Stober still with it. And now both men leave the box. 5-on-5 yet again. Play out in front, covered up by Testino, and an extra shove from Leighton Poole into the back of, I believe, Will Schneider, who hit the deck.
It seems as though tensions were not cooled after some time in the locker rooms.
Hey, there's something I can tell you about Georgia and Tennessee. These two teams, these two schools, they don't like each other very much.
Not at all.
That gaudy orange. The Dogs don't take a liking to it. No penalty on either side as we're still 5-on-5, but starting to see the chippiness pick up. Was talking to Torin yesterday. He really predicted the chippiness. He's like, this game might take longer than you might expect. Some stuff might start going on. Didn't see much of it in the first. We'll see if it ramps up. If you can't get going on the scoreboard, maybe get going with the physicality. We saw a big hit from Ryan Bailey right in front of us. Tennessee was asking for a penalty on that, didn't get it, but here we stand 0-0 as Alexander Strauss takes things himself all the way into the Tennessee zone. Cooper tries to body him off the puck and does so successfully. Now Parente with a little bit of a shove. Physicality definitely picking up here in the second period. Here comes Will Schneider. Pass across and a save made by Testino. That was off the stick of Mitchell Spranklin, the leading point scorer for Tennessee, and now Parente the other way. Parente has Conway. Conway trying to get to that puck. Once again, that centering pass does not work for the Dogs. Good chance, though, from Mitchell Spranklin. Not a guy you want to give a lot of space to. As Mehring pitches to the opposite side for Cohen. Now back with Isles at the point. His shot does not get through. And now Bailey tried to break out, but Moore couldn't get it to him, and he took a beating on that far glass. Right by the Tennessee bench. I'm sure he heard about it. Isles out in front. Good defensive stick by the Dogs to prevent it from getting to him. And Tennessee clears the zone. Dogs have to touch back up. Gannon with an aerial pass. Misses the net, but a good job by Mazzaros to beat out the icing. Great play by Mazzaros, preventing that face-off in the Dog zone, but now Tennessee comes back with it the other way. Frazier with it. Has Isles behind him, can't get it to him. And Bailey finds Moore, who leaves it right back for Isles. Isles trying for a pass out in front. Instead, only finds Bailey. Mazzaros to Gannon, and Gannon to Moore. Moore with the wrister. Save made by Simons, and he is able to get the puck out in front with Gannon on his doorstep.
And this second period starting off a lot like the first period did, back and forth, back and forth. Feels almost more like a tennis match the way we're looking back and forth between both sides.
For sure. Tennis match where nobody gets any points, huh? Just a long rally. We're waiting to see who gets that first point. Another face-off win for Tennessee. Dogs struggling in the dot as they clear the zone, and Pavic on it now. Pavic has Hurlburt to his right. Can't get it to him. Hurlburt, one of several big players for Tennessee. They've got some big guys out there for sure. Hurlburt at 6'5", 203, and Testino makes his first save of the period. Second save, excuse me.
And some more words being exchanged here. So it looks like that's all that will be exchanged.
Sure, everyone's being nice to each other, just
nothing but
asking how
kind
their
words.
days were and such.
Absolutely. Starting to see that amp up a little bit more. Not much of it in the first. We've
No, not at all.
pointed out.
Carroll and McAvoy in the circle. Excuse me, not McAvoy. That's Zach Knoll. McAvoy not in the lineup today. Punzenberger gets it back to Knoll. Pretty play between those two with the saucer pass. Now Punzenberger looking for the deflection from Knoll, and Simons is equal to it. And I think from what we've seen so far, it might take a deflection to beat Lincoln Simons.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal in the crease today. I mean, both teams have been. Not much you can really criticize about either goalie's play. They've just kept it at 0 and done a really great job.
Testino with the goals against average about half of Simons, but Simons looking just as equal to the tasks as he'll have to see another face-off in front of him.
Seems like a lot of Ice Dawgs shots have been either in the glove or in the midsection of Simons. I'm interested to see if a shot maybe that goes a little more wide, if one might be able to slip past him, or a deflection, as you pointed out.
Martin at the point sends things back deep. Larsey chasing after it as Hagen pinches. Tennessee regains the puck. Fine with chipping out. A misplay, though, by the Dogs, and here comes Tennessee. Huge save by Testino. A 1-on-0 that time. And Testino answers the call. So Dogs catch a break there after a bit of a misplay from Bill Martin, and now Martin screaming down this right wing. Martin and Hagen, the defenseman, really leading that breakout, and so now the Dogs have some forwards in defense. Shot fired off the blocker of Testino. Big hit from Martin, and now here comes Larsey on the right wing. Throws on the brakes, waits for Knoll. Now Knoll for Punzenberger. Punzenberger didn't get all of it. Larsey off the pipe. Tried to tuck it in behind Simons, and Simons taps his pipe and says thank you. Now Sprinklin quickly back the other way, pass across. And that one cleared down the ice. No icing as it doesn't get very far down, and Mehring turns right back around for Sprinklin. Things really picking up in this second period. Seems like it's only a matter of time before somebody finds the back of the net. Schneider to Stober. Stober looking for Sprinklin. Still with it behind the net, closed down by Strauss, and now here's Larsey, who's had a great shift. Larsey bumped off of it, runs into Sprinklin, and now Stober. Stober fires. Save made by Testino. Poole, may have gotten a piece of that as well. Tennessee looking for Stober out in front. Can't get it to him. And now they have it on the far point. That one up into the netting and out of play. And now some words between a couple of guys over there. That's Alexander Strauss for the Dogs. Kyle Stober for the Vols. Looked like Strauss took a shot to the back of the head of Stober, and he's going to the box.
Yeah, that'll do it. One man in the box now. And I guess they don't know that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul is later tonight, because they're getting ready to fight.
Oh, he's actually not going to the box, just going to the bench, maybe getting away with one. Looked like he really hit Stober in the back of the head, but hey, it's hockey. There's a little more wiggle room.
Either way, this just goes to show that the scoreboard really doesn't tell the story of the game. This has been a super exciting game, back and forth, and obviously some pushing and shoving now between both teams.
And honestly, with the way the physicality's picked up, not mad at the refs, kind of letting these guys play, let the physicality play out. Especially with the stuff after the whistle, it's not actually affecting play. Kick save and a beauty by Testino. Double save there. Both goalies really on their best behavior here in the second period. Over 5 minutes played, and I think both teams would be a bit upset that they haven't registered one on the scoreboard.
And Testino's just been so hot the past couple of games. Played both games in that weekend series against Tampa.
Yeah. Played really well. 2 goals allowed in one of them and 1 in the other. Fantastic weekend for Testino. As Hedquist tries to protect the puck. He's able to get it out of the zone, but now right back in. Here comes Cohen bearing down on net. Good defense by Jack Gannon, though. And now here comes Evan Parente. Parente screaming down this right side for Conway. Conway fires one into the midsection of Simons. That's an easy save for him. But back out to the Dogs with Burnett and now Gannon. Gannon up to Conway. Trying to get it to Hedquist. Delayed offsides, and now there goes the whistle. .13:42 to go here in this second period, and I just can't believe it's still 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, there have been so many great opportunities for both teams. We saw one here from the Dogs that started with Laracy and then to Knoll, and then over to Punzenberger. Just a great opportunity, and now we have Testino with some great kick saves over here. But both defensive teams have been really strong.
And both goalies playing winning hockey. Unfortunately for each of them, they're playing against the other one. Makes things a bit more complicated as Testino sticks it away. Testino's just had a phenomenal season for the Dogs. The senior out of right here in Georgia, playing on an ice that he's very familiar with. Mazzaros brings it in, looking for Moore. Moore can't get past his defenseman. Puck loose out in front. And there goes Tennessee back the other way with Pavic. Pavic centering for Hurlburt just beyond him. And now Hagen all the way down the ice. And I don't think Mazzaros is going to win that race against the other 26, Tyler Rose. And he doesn't. It's an icing.
And the clock in the rink did not start for that entire 30 seconds of play there. So we will get an extra 30 seconds of hockey, it appears, in this second period. You can't complain about that, though.
Looks like the official realizes that there was a problem, but I don't know that they're going to change things. Hey, free hockey.
Not much you can do about that.
We'll take the extra hockey. Our bedtimes are a thing of the past tonight anyways, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Going to be a late night here at the ice. Hope that you'll join us for the D3 game after this. But first, some D1 business to take care of. And I'd watch out trying to hit Truman Hagen over there. Be careful what you're wishing for. And that looks like that's Jackson for Tennessee. He was on the list of scratches, I thought. A little bit surprised to see him out there. First shift, I believe, we've seen from Miles Jackson. The rosters that we saw, he was a scratch. So maybe a very late change. Not sure whose spot he's taken. Maybe Dylan Uptake. Don't believe we've seen him yet. Try to figure that one out for you as Stober loses out on the draw. Hagen fans on the clearance attempt. Now Evan Moore trying to win that over there. Instead, Tennessee with the puck in the Georgia zone. Good play by Moore. And now that one looked like maybe off the shaft of Testino. Another big save. Not sure where the puck is. I think it might be stuck in someone's equipment. Yeah, I believe that it's in someone's pants.
It appears to be. You usually see that a lot with goalies when it bounces up and falls into their pants or something, or some of their equipment, but rarely on a skater.
I think Will Schneider was trying to hide that one in his pants, but
maybe go drop it off in front of the goal and stick it in. But
everyone kind of just looking up at the ceiling, looking around, sticking each other, trying to figure out what's going on. Hard to play the puck when it's in someone's pants, so the faceoff will leave the zone. Spranklin wins it for Tennessee. That one fired all the way down to the left of Testino, and an icing.
And still just going back and forth in this game. I mean, we're just waiting on someone to get a goal here.
Seems like it's only a matter of time, and in a game where goals are so hard to come by, that first goal is absolutely massive.
And oftentimes in hockey, I mean, in any sport, but in hockey especially, that first goal leads to so many more because teams get desperate, start playing a little looser.
100%. Noel fires back in deep. Laracy chasing after it. Now Poole sends it back in. Gets it for Tennessee. Dawgs trying to keep it in the zone, but clears it. Misplay from Alexander Strauss, and he's going to go to the box for slashing. And honestly, he didn't really have much of a choice.
No, it was either give up have a one-on-one chance there, or I don't know, a tough break for Alex Strauss there, but a power play for Tennessee, which is the first power play we've seen in this game.
We'll see how the Dogs fare on the penalty kill, but for Strauss, just had that puck bounce right over his stick, and then he was kind of in no man's land. Penalty at 7:36 in this second period. As Bardo is on the draw for that kill, it's Bardo, Whitwer, Gannon, and I believe that's Burnett trying to fight in front of Testino. Frazier with the puck for Tennessee. Now over on the right wing to Cooper. Cooper, a defenseman. They're going with two defensemen as Tennessee. Frazier with it again now. Rose. Rose fires one high. Frazier back to Rose. Rose back to Frazier. Frazier bearing down on goal. Cross ice pass. Cooper. Glove saved by Testino.
And some really great puck movement there from Tennessee. Essentially sent one through the entire defense, but they've been moving it around that perimeter for the first few seconds there, looking to get the Georgia defense out of position and get a good shot off, ideally from one of those wings, but if they can get one from up top too and get a deflection in, that would suffice for them.
Dogs go with some fresh skaters. It's now Hagen, Conway, Parente, and Stewart. Or Martin, excuse me. Martin on the puck now. Can't quite get enough control to clear it, but Conway might be able to, and Dogs might have a chance short-handed. Here comes Evan Parente. Mishandles a little, now fires right into the midsection of Simons. That's been a common trend when the Dogs have had good opportunities, firing it right at Simons. Still killed some precious seconds as this penalty time's just about split in half. Now 1 minute remaining on the power play. Dogs with a grade A chance short-handed. Cooper with the puck for Tennessee. Still that first line of power play men for the Vols. Frazier tries to keep the point and does. Now over to Rose. Rose to Cooper. Cooper to Isles. Out in front for Cohen. Good save by Testino, but that one beats him on the second effort. Tennessee finds the scoreboard first. It's on the power play, and it's 1-0 Vols on the goal from Henry Cohen. That's his 12th of the season, team leading. Testino definitely a little frustrated that with how well he's played, the Vols get on the board first, and you know that the Dogs will be looking to get one right back for him.
Yeah, an unfortunate break there for Testino. He's essentially just slid right past his legs. Didn't really see it coming, but that's what happens when you get on the power play.
And I think he made that first save. It was the second one that got by him on the rebound. Always tough with a man basically always in front of you on that penalty kill, and that's exactly where Henry Cohen was. 15th point of the season for Cohen, the freshman out of Massachusetts. So Dogs looking to get one back. They know they can. Almost had one shorthanded just moments before that goal. How fine the margins are as Moore fires high and wide, a bit upset with himself. But now here comes Tennessee the other way, 2-on-1. Here's Hurlbert trying to fire back across for Carroll. Evades him. Pavic fighting over there on those far boards. And now here comes Mazzaros. Mazzaros gets past Getz. Puck finds Mehring, though, as Tennessee breaks out, leading 1-0 now on the power play goal from Henry Cohen. Pass across to Hurlbert. He didn't get everything on that. Testino quickly back into his net to cut off that angle. Testino been very busy here in this second period. Now looking for some damage control as that puck is fired out of play. No delay of game here in club college hockey, but the puck will stay in the Dog zone.
Yeah, and I know I am at least, and I'm sure many others are surprised by this score so far, only 1-0, considering, I mean, Georgia's defense is phenomenal, but the offense, I think, has been something they've really prided themselves on, and especially getting Laracy back, who's a huge offensive weapon. I think being shut out so far halfway through the game is not quite what the Dogs were expecting coming in here.
Another shot, stick saved by Testino. And now a slap shot right into the glove of Testino off the stick of Kelly. And for the Dogs, I think the key with that struggling scoring is to just not lose confidence. They're playing good hockey. If you start trying to do too much, that's when you're going to find yourself in trouble on the other end, as David Eberle comes out for what I believe is his first shift of the game, maybe providing a little spark.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a fiery player, and it's got to feel good for Testino, too, to get a save here after letting one in.
Always good to get that first one after a goal. Eberle trying to sneak back the other way. Punzenberger crashing on this right wing. We'll get to the puck around the boards. Punzenberger can't keep the play alive for the Dogs, though. And here comes Spranklin. Spranklin goes stick to stick with Burnett, who took all the sting out of that shot. And now Knoll coming back the other way. Eberle gets his first touch of the puck. Eberle to Punzenberger. Punzenberger out in front for Eberle. Just missed him. And now Tennessee back with it, as here comes Schneider. Good play by Burnett to slow things up. Now Eberle with a good stick as well, and the Dogs chip back out. As here comes Zach Knoll trying to handle that puck, struggles with a little bit, and now Punzenberger brings it in the zone. Punzenberger, cross-ice pass to Eberle, shoots just wide. Trying to beat Simon's blocker side, pass out in front. Just past Eberle and just past Punzenberger. Good shift for the Dogs, especially with Eberle and Punzenberger out there working together. Some extended zone time as Martin keeps things in there for the Dogs. Tennessee now just clears the zone, but only into the Dogs bench. Good shift from the Dogs in response to that goal from Tennessee, even though it was a few minutes ago. A big response here.
Yeah, that's what you need, is to be in your zone and rebuild that confidence, like you were saying. We got Eberle in there, and he had a great shot there. That was certainly a high-speed shot. And now it's just got to be, what's it going to take to get one in?
It seems like a lot with Simons in there and net. Might need to be a deflection, as when goalies are locked in, that's usually the best chance you have of beating them. Dogs haven't been really going for the deflections as that one hits the Dogs in the bench. It's been more that centering pass that they've been looking for. This period, firing a few more shots, looking for more quantity of chances. The big thing is when they have those open shots, a lot of them just right at Simon's chest.
Yeah, getting those open shots right at his chest, and then also on those centering passes, Tennessee sticks have just been in the middle of the zone, and because usually Georgia is really good at that centering pass and finding those shots in the middle. Unsuccessful today, though.
Hey, we knew this game was not going to be easy. We knew it was going to be a test, a top 6 matchup in my hockey rankings, a top 3 matchup in college hockey south, and it's proving to be that high-quality hockey from both sides as Frazier fires one wide. That one buzzed right by Testino. Hagen on it. Now Deeks around a few defensemen. Hagen still with it. Fires well high of Simons. Got a little excited when he got in front of net, maybe, did Hagen. Now out to Bill Martin. Back to his defense mate in Hagen. He fans on it. Now has one deflect off a stick and gloved out of midair by Simons.
Yeah, top 6 matchup, like you said, in my hockey rankings, which is a official hockey rankings.
Not actually belonging to me,
not
Will
Hopkins rankings. Official rankings.
Nobody would care about those rankings, I think.
I would care, Will.
I appreciate that. Conway on the draw for the Dogs, looking to keep this puck in the Tennessee zone, and he wins it. Martin pinches in, back to Conway. Does a good job to protect it. Now Hurlburt on it for Tennessee, but right back to Conway looking for that centering pass. There's just nobody there for the Dogs, being a little bit conservative, trying to make sure to keep numbers back, knowing how dangerous Tennessee can be. A little bit of indecisiveness from Testino, but he ends up gloving it.
Yeah, probably a good decision. Don't want to give up anything dumb, make any stupid sort of plays to get down 2-0. So I think overall a smart decision, and get some fresh legs as we see a full line shift here. All 5 guys off and on the ice for Georgia.
Under 8 minutes to go here in this middle period. Period of the long change, so smart by Georgia on the face-off to get a change when you can. That one hitting the ceiling, a low ceiling here at the ice.
Indeed, a lot of more whistles in this past few minutes than pretty much the entire rest of the game, but only one penalty still so far.
Yeah, it's kind of taken the rhythm out of things a little bit, slowed things down some, and I think Tennessee will probably be happy with that with the lead. Keep the Dogs from building any steam. Loose puck, Kokoska rings it around deep. Right back around as now Leighton Poole with it. Leighton Poole has Green to his left, can't get it to him as Kokoska regains control. Glove down by the captain, Whitwer. Whitwer bumped off of it by Getz and now thrown to the ice. They're tangled up over there. Whitwer holds on to Getz' stick for a moment. Now Tennessee back with it on these near boards. It's Gassanders. Gassanders now over on this near side to Felicki. Haven't seen this fourth line from Tennessee out there a ton, in all honesty, running a pretty tight ship. We'll see if those top lines get more fatigued as this game goes on into the third period as Whitwer loses his stick. Poole over to Bailey. Bailey puts one out in front, a loose puck right there in front of Simons, and he's able to get to it and glove it, and now some pushing and shoving out in front.
You got to figure that's going to happen when the goalie takes a little bit of physicality there.
But if you're the Dogs, you got to poke at that puck because it was just sitting there for a couple of seconds.
Oh, absolutely. I don't blame them at all. And I don't blame Tennessee for sticking up for their goalie either. Just seems to be the way hockey goes.
For the Dogs, it would be so big to get a goal before the end of this period. You know, Tennessee would feel a huge sigh of relief if they hear the horn for a second time without letting one hit the twine behind Simons. Mazzaros on the draw for the Dogs. Has Moore right behind him. Moore on the puck. Sends it right to a volunteer in Stober. Stober rings it around back. And a fan on the attempt that time by Ani, excuse me, that is. That puck kind of punched up in the air by Stober. Burnett on it. Pokes it around Stober. And now Bailey able to help the Dogs break out. Evan Moore looking for Mazzaros. That puck off a skate, I believe, into that far corner. And the net is dislodged as Mazzaros hit the deck.
Yeah, off a skate right there and sort of got launched over towards Simons.
Speedily.
Yes, I don't think he was expecting that at all.
Just over 6 minutes to play in the second period, and Dogs maybe looking a little bit frustrated. See a couple of guys with their heads to the heavens asking, what do I got to do to get a goal?
Yeah, I was not expecting it to be 1-0 at this point in the game. Certainly no Georgia goose egg on the board so far.
Mazzaros on the forecheck all alone as Tennessee gains the zone with Isles. Isles, fast skater, gets things around for Tennessee, and now Kelly on it. Kelly goes stick to stick with Ryan Bailey, but puck stays in the zone for Tennessee. Battle on this near corner. Tennessee content to just keep it there. They do come away with it with the goal scorer Cohen, though, as Isles fires one to the far corner. Now Tennessee still with it. A nice fake shot, but then that one's blocked. Good job by the Dogs defensively. Evan Moore taking one, I believe, to the shin pad. Putting his body on the line for the team. Keeping this at just a 1-goal deficit. Dogs trying to get things squared up. Approaching 5 minutes to play here in the second period. Dangerous pass right in front of Kelly. As now here comes Bailey. He takes an arm up high. No call from the officials, though. And we play on. A big reverse hit and some pushing and shoving over there right in front of the official. Play continuing on this left side, though. And a great save by Testino. Fantastic save. Frazier was looking at a lot of empty net. Testino shifted his weight over and blockered it into the netting.
One of the quickest pucks I'm sure Testino has seen today. And another great save there. And just got to keep wondering what it's going to take to get a goal. You know, really all it takes is the whole team to rally up. And we saw Evan Moore with a big save and some cheers from the bench. I think that's ultimately what's going to take. You know, it's not just going to be one guy leading the pack.
And as big as it was for Testino to try to keep Tennessee out until Georgia scored, it's just as big for him to keep them at just 1 goal. With as hard as it's been for Georgia to score, a 2-goal lead would seem like a 10-goal lead for Tennessee. Cooper with the puck at the point. He fires one that doesn't get through. Chance on the rebound, though, and that one goes just wide off the stick of Rose. Rose fires another one, and off of Testino and Martin, puck sitting out in front. Now Carroll on it. Some extended zone time for Tennessee, looking to add on another. Hurlburt has it, gives it for Cooper. Weak shot goes wide. Goes all the way back around to the other defenseman in Rose. Hurlburt on it now, 7 versus 7. Hurlburt and Martin, and that one sprays all the way down the other end. Simons will have to play the puck and makes a good pass to Rose, who gives it over to Cooper. Dogs a little bit more aggressive on that forecheck, but Pavic and the Vols able to get away from it. Pavic turns, fires behind him, stays in the zone though. That's Rose on it. He'll dump in and go for a change. And now Bill Martin trying to get things out away from Testino. Tennessee, the better team over the last couple of minutes. Laracy chasing after it. Cooper's been out there a long while. No call as he took a slash at Cooper. Refs really letting the guys play. Here comes Pavic. 91 on this left wing. Skates through a ton of traffic. Still has the puck now, Hurlburt. And that's gobbled up by Testino. We get a whistle.
And you said Tennessee's been the best team the past couple minutes. I'd argue they've been the better team, this entire period.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Been a lot of really good shots from them. And especially just the little things like getting through that aggressive Georgia forecheck is huge to just swing momentum in your favor.
In the very beginning of the first period, we saw Tennessee content to just dump the puck in and then take on more pressure from the Dogs. This period, they're really trying to do more to damage themselves as that puck was dangerously thrown out in front. As the Dogs now come back the other way. Felicki was trying to get out in front of that one. But yeah, Tennessee more aggressive on the offensive zone, trying to do things more organized and really get things going as opposed to just offloading the pressure. Fourth line out there for Tennessee. Seen them more this period than we have in the past. Jackson on it now. Jackson passes around, puck dangerously out in front. We've seen a couple of loose pucks in front of both nets. And now here come the Dogs the other way. It's Hedquist with it. Parente skating out in front. Leighton Poole at this point if Hedquist needs him, but he decides that he doesn't. Hedquist still skating with it out in front. Looking for the charging Dog. That was Conway, and he got almost too much stick on it and directed it too far wide of the net. Aval loses a stick, and now the puck into the netting, and Declan Conway is going to be wishing he could have that one over again, and now Parente getting into the grill of Aval, as that ball looked like he was going after Leighton Poole, and Parente is going to stand up for his buddy.
Oh, absolutely, and Parente there on a missed shot that went out and hit the net. Just can't seem to find the back of the net. Like, really great opportunities there. 2 really good ones. Obviously, we saw Conway as he was diving towards the crease. And then Parente there, right there on the doorstep.
I mean, what's it got to take? What's it got to take to...
It's the $1 million question.
To get this scoring going. I'm sure the Ice Dogs are asking the exact same question. Just got to keep doing what they're doing. 2:41 to go here in this period as the Dogs win the draw. Burnett backhands it back in. Conway with the check on Kelly. Tennessee comes away with it. Skating it out. Now is Ani. He loses it though, and now here comes Conway. Conway pulled down to the ice, and the Dogs will be on the power play for the first time tonight. Believe that's holding or hooking regardless. Tennessee will go to the box for 2 minutes, and the Dogs with a real good chance now to even things up.
And we'll see what the ref calls here. Hooking, it appears.
Hooking is the call. That's Jack Ani, the defenseman, who will go to the box. Now, first chance of the night for the Dogs on the power play. Henry Cohen scoring a power play goal for the Vols this period to get them on the board. The Dogs looking to do the same. 2:20 to go in the period. Play those 2 minutes, 5-on-4 for the Dogs unless they can get one home first. That's more over there for the Dogs. A turnover early into the power play and a free clearance for Tennessee. And they'll buy some more time as they get onto that puck first. That's Kyle Oakley on it, killing some precious seconds. A minute 40 now. Ryan Bailey with it behind the net. He's got Hagen to his right, Moore to his left. As Laracy and Mazzaros, the other two on the ice for the Dogs. Here comes Truman Hagen. Hagen skating around, taking it in, out in front. Mazzaros fans on it, bounced right in front of him, but he quickly regains the puck, which bounces over the stick of Evan Moore and back to the Georgia zone. Tennessee will go for a full change. Dogs can't get to it quite quickly enough to catch them out as Evan Moore regains the zone for the Dogs. A minute and 5 seconds to go on this man advantage for the Dogs. Hagen to Laracy. Laracy surveying. As Moore lifts the stick, Hagen's asking for it. Instead, it's Bailey on the far side. He can't get his shot through. Big check from Laracy, but Tennessee's able to clear the zone with that one banked off the glass. Now 45 seconds to go in this power play. Tennessee killing pretty well.
Yeah, still not a shot from the Dogs. Looking more like a Nashville Predators power play, which if you're not familiar with the NHL is not a compliment.
And for the Dogs, you would think a power play would be exactly what they need, generating all these chances and not finding the net, but still maybe looking for too perfect of a chance. Now 25 seconds to go on this man advantage. Some fresh skaters out there for the Dogs. It's Poole on it now. Two defensemen out there with the time winding down. 10 seconds to go now. Conway with it. Conway gains the zone, but as quickly as it went in, it comes right back out with Spranklin clearing it down the ice, and the penalty is expired. 15 seconds to go now in the period. An unsuccessful power play, and the difference so far in this game, Tennessee 1 for 1, Georgia 0 for 1. Maybe Dogs can get something going right after it, though. Gannon with the puck. He fires one with traffic in front, gobbled up by Simons, and even with bodies in front of him, just looks so calm.
Yeah, very casual glove grab there, right down at his legs. And only 3 seconds to go here.
Yeah, 3.4 seconds to go. Why not get the extra skater out there? Testino to the bench. Bailey out there. It's a more common trend, I feel like, over the last few years, teams doing this. Why not? The odds of Tennessee getting that puck to the net in this amount of time, pretty unlikely. See if the Dogs can take advantage of the extra skater. Dogs win the draw. Chance out in front, just wide. Bailey, who is the extra skater, almost putting that one home, but the Dogs can't catch a break.
Almost a beautiful draw by Coach Camp there. Unfortunately, just a few inches to the left.
So 1-0 after 2. The lone goal, a power play goal from Henry Cohen on the lone power play for the Vols. The Dogs can't capitalize on their lone power play, and that's where we stand. We'll take our second intermission before bringing you the final period here at the Ice and Cumming. Welcome back for the third period of play. Dogs trailing the Volunteers by a score of 1-0. The difference, a power play goal. Henry Cohen on the second effort, right in front of Ryan Testino. Dogs got their first power play, and, well, it did not go to plan.
Oh, no, not at all. Did they get a shot off during their power play?
Maybe one?
I'm not sure if they did. Either way, not much to say about that power play. I'm sure that's one that the Dogs will want to forget and maybe move on from. As you saw there, Ryan Testino on the banners here, along with Torin Smith, our cameraman and producer. And then Tyler Terranova, the Alabama goalie as well. So quite the alumni that the Ice here in Cumming
Torin
has.
Smith, man. I mean, that's an alumni
that's
to
a huge
pride
name.
yourself on.
That is a huge name.
But going back to this game for the Dogs, really looking for that perfect chance, trying for a pass right out in front and looking to try to pass the puck into the net. It doesn't seem like that opportunity is going to be there. What do you think the key is to get on the scoreboard?
Yeah, I would say that finding the perfect opportunity is the key, but unfortunately, you're never going to get the perfect opportunity. And if you had, I'm sure that they've had what they would consider perfect opportunities plenty of times this game and haven't been able to connect. So I would just say, just a lot going in your way, honestly. I mean, that's all that seems to be the only thing that's going to work.
Never hurts to try just pucks on net and pucks on net. Maybe some bodies out in front, create some traffic for Lincoln Simons because he is locked in. Testino with some action in front of him to start this third period. Dogs going right to left, Vols going left to right. Biggest key for the Dogs, keep the Vols out of the net. A 2-goal deficit would seem almost insurmountable with how difficult it's been for goals to come by for the Dogs. And just like that, the Dogs are on the power play. How's that for a start to the second period?
Yeah, that's huge, and hopefully they went into the locker room and said, hey, look, that power play was not good. Here's what we need to do. And hoping that they can have a little better of a chance here with another 2 minutes of 5-on-4 hockey.
Tyler Rose goes to the box just 28 seconds in to this third and final period. Laracy, Moore, Hagen, Mazzaros, and Bailey, the five out there for the Ice Dawgs. See if they can execute better than that first power play. Bar's not set particularly high, but really just looking to even things up. Would be a whole new game. Slight stoppage here, not sure what for. And now it looks like we're ready for play. Key to win this faceoff, get things going right away. And the Dogs do just that. Nice job by Mazzaros. And now Hagen with it. Hagen over to Bailey. Bailey to Hagen. Has some room at the point. Now over to Moore. Moore looking out in front. Laracy is denied by Simons. Kick save and a beauty, but the Dogs keep the play alive. Bailey with it. Hagen now. Bailey asking for it back. Gets it back. Cross ice to Moore. Moore fires. Blocker saved by Simons. Much better start to this than the Dogs had in their first power play. Putting pucks on net. Moving the puck quicker. Love to see it. Moore sends it around deep for Mazzaros, his first touch since winning the faceoff. Laracy back to Mazzaros. Mazzaros looking for Moore. Moore walks in and shoots. Save made by Simons. Dogs keep the play alive. Good job by Moore to get it back to Mazzaros, and now back to Moore. Hagen asking for it at the point. Looks for Bailey, instead back to Moore. Hagen, now to Bailey. Bailey fires one just wide. Under a minute to go on this power play, just about halfway through. And finally, for the first time in this power play, Tennessee clears the zone. They look to go for a change. Dogs trying to maybe catch them out as one skater loses an edge. Bailey blocked off it. Puck sitting out in front. Mazzaros fires. Save made by Simons as the net comes dislodged. Wow.
Absolutely, and a whole minute there of the puck in the Dogs' offensive zone. Luckily got it right back in once it left. But man, oh man, what a great chance there. Unfortunately, the net, well, I mean, it wasn't going to go in the net regardless, but the stoppage of play there really ended things for the Dogs on that hot drive.
And if you're Coach Kemp, you've got to be thrilled with the difference between that power play and the first one, right?
So much more energetic, so much, I mean, it just looks like they want it more. It didn't really seem like they wanted it on that first power play.
Second unit out there for the Dogs now, as Poole has the puck. Hedquist now back to Poole. Has Gannon to his right and uses him. He now gives to Conway. Conway across to Poole. He has space and time. Fires looking for maybe a skate to deflect off of. Doesn't get one. but the Dogs keep it in the zone. 25 seconds to go on the man advantage. Conway walks in, fires, save made, kicked away by the defenseman Mehring and cleared all the way down the ice as the clock approaches 10 seconds to go on this power play for the Dogs. A great power play in every department except the one that matters most.
Absolutely. Maybe we can keep that momentum going here for a little bit, get some more offensive zone time, and get one in.
Would love to see it. Conway skates behind the net, keeps the puck, takes some whacks, falls down to the ice, no call. Hedquist fighting over there with Mehring as Mehring banks it around to Cohen. Cohen can't quite corral it, and a good job by Gannon to keep the zone, but it comes out just as quickly now with Mehring. We've seen Mehring not afraid to skate towards the net. He fires, one save made by Testino. And now Gannon back with it. Cohen with a big hit on Hedquist, and Ani sends it around for Frazier. Frazier around to Isles. Isles has Ani out in front, can't get it to him luckily. A little bit of a response from Tennessee after the power play by the Dogs. Parente can't quite handle it, and now Knoll on it. Knoll to Hagen. Hagen to Martin. And now Tennessee gains the puck at neutral ice. Carroll with the pass. Shot fires over Testino's net. End-to-end stuff the last couple of minutes here in period number 3. Here comes Hagen. Parente working on Ani. Fires it around the Tennessee goal. Hagen in deep for the Dogs as Knoll takes over his defensive spot for the time being. And now he'll have to go to work defensively, except a good blockade by Bill Martin saves Knoll from having to do too much work over there. 4 minutes gone in this third period. Dogs looking for an equalizer. Had some good chances on the power play, couldn't quite make it happen. Icing waved off as Laracy chases after it. Laracy first game back in a good while, and he loses an edge, and here come the Vols. It's Kelly with it, the defenseman, had Spranklin behind him. Instead, opts for the other side. Great block by Gannon. He's struggling to get up, but he took one for the team. Everyone on the bench banging their sticks in appreciation as he'll try to wobble his way to the bench. Here comes Laracy. Laracy can't dance around Cooper, and here comes Tennessee back the other way with Schneider. High intensity in this third period, that's for sure. One-timer gobbled up by Testino.
That was a great move by Cooper there for Tennessee, using his long reach in order to get a poke check there on Laracy's stick and get him moving the other way. After what seemed like Laracy might have a chance there if he could get around Cooper.
Second line out there for the Vols. Fourth line out there for the Dogs with Bardo. Dogs can't quite win that draw. As Whitworth takes a shot, gets up quickly. And now a whistle, and we're going to have a penalty. Cooper is going to be going to the box. And it looked like a clean hit. It was a big hit, but it looked pretty clean to me. And it looks like the call is going to be interference, and now the Dogs are, roughing. Roughing is going to be the call, and hey, the Dogs are right back on the power play. That power play looked good. Time to cash it in.
Absolutely. It's hard to keep a team with a pretty solid power play, at least from what it looked like this past time, to keep them from scoring for 4 whole minutes. So we'll see there. And then that Cooper hit, Cooper's a much bigger guy than Whitworth, so Whitworth was probably going down regardless of whether it was a penalty or not.
Yeah, it was maybe a little bit off balance to begin with. Got out quickly, didn't see any complaining out of him. And Tennessee clears the zone about a minute quicker than they did last power play. Took a whole minute to get the puck out of the zone last time, just a couple of seconds this time. Hagen on it. Bailey over the red line and over the blue line. Runs into a forest of sticks from Tennessee as Moore fights over there, tries to get some help from Mazzaros. Mazzaros fighting to gain control of this puck, and he does so to Hagen. Hagen sends it back around deep. Moore, Mazzaros, and can't get back to Hagen as Spranklin's on it now. Had Stober to his left, couldn't get into it, and Hagen trying to deke around Spranklin. Dogs get back to that puck. A minute and 10 seconds to go on this third power play of the night for the Dogs. Second one much better than the first, and so far about a minute through, this one's somewhere in between the two of them, wouldn't you say?
I'd say so. Haven't really gotten a chance yet, but not quite as bad as that first.
Bailey lost an edge. Dogs gain it back quickly. Hagen Not super sharp on the puck, but a great pass to Laracy. He can't quite handle it. Hagen a little bit casual on this power play. He knows the skills he has. Now a shot fired by Moore right into that midsection of Simons, and it seems like Simons is a magnet for this puck. All the shots going right at him.
Yeah, that's the second, not even second. It's the severalth time we've seen a shot go into that midsection. With a pretty wide open shot there from Moore. Seems like he could have placed it a little better, but just seems to.
Yep, 40 seconds to go on the man advantage. Just under 14 minutes to go in this one. Dogs still looking for their first goal. Tennessee leading 1-0. A Henry Cohen power play goal. Dogs looking for a power play goal of their own right now, but unfortunately Tennessee's got the puck as they send it in deep to kill some more time. Dogs regain it though. Here comes the defenseman Poole. He gains the blue line. Poole still skating in. Goes around the net, centers one out in front. Chance for Parente. He shoots, blocked out in front, and finally the Dogs find the back of the net. It's a power play goal for James Hedquist, and we're all knotted up at one.
James Hedquist with the goal for the Dogs. Got to figure it'd be a guy like Hedquist who's been such a great offensive weapon. Huge getting him back a couple weeks ago. Now he's making his presence even more felt here as he knots it up 1-1 against this tough Tennessee team.
Parente had space and time, had his shot saved by Simons, and then James Hedquist, Johnny on the spot, able to put it home into a practically empty net. And you feel like that goal's deserved after the nearly 50 minutes of solid hockey the Dogs have played.
Absolutely.
And as crucial as that first goal was for Tennessee, cannot overstate how crucial the next goal is in this one, because the way things have gone, it could be the last one.
It's essentially a 0-0 game now. Is not much scoring this entire game.
The intensity is really going to pick up here. Two high-quality hockey teams in College Hockey South Division I AAU. Georgia can't clear the zone as Frazier sends it back in deep. Poole around to Parente, evades him, and he goes off for a change, and Laracy will take his place on the ice. Cooper will feel pretty responsible for that goal as he was in the box on that hit on Whitwer. A little bit unlucky to go to the box, but in the box nonetheless. Now Laracy with it, has Conway out in front, can't slow it down with his skate, just a bit too far in front of him. And now Isles with it in the far corner, gets it to Cohen in this near corner. Punzenberger pokes to Conway. Conway trying to get it to Laracy, and now Conway's got it himself. A whistle for offsides. The Dogs were in 2-on-0, Conway and Punzenberger, but after taking the hit, Laracy was on the wrong side of the line.
Sometimes when you're 2-on-0, you're wondering how you got there. Sometimes it's offsides, as we just saw.
Close play for sure.
Huge call by the ref to rule that one back. Unfortunately, the right call for fortunately the right call for Tennessee.
Knoll loses the draw to Carroll, so Tennessee has the puck. 12 minutes to go, 1-1 game, both teams with a power play goal. Georgia 1 for 3 on the man advantage, Tennessee 1 for 1. Hagen gloves it down, looking for Laracy. Good play on that far side by Cooper, though, to keep it from getting to him. Here comes Hagen pinching up, and now shot out in front does not get through from that left face-off circle. Rose keeping the point. Instead, Pavic keeps things in. Tennessee with some zone time here with Hurlburt. Hurlburt and Hagen trying to glove that one down. Pavic fires wide, maybe off the noggin of Testino. Talk about using your head. Good job by 31. And now Zach Knoll comes away with the puck. A chance for the Dogs to finally get this one out of the zone after a good 30, 45 seconds from Tennessee in there. Dogs will go for a change. I think they were trying to dump that one in deep. Instead, it came all the way back out to center ice, ringing around the boards. Knoll on the forecheck. Under 11 minutes to go now. 1-1, next goal is absolutely huge. Gannon with the puck. He has Evan Moore. Instead, shoots himself, and it's wide. Took it himself. Just a little bit high and wide, and now Gannon still staying up there in the attack. Mazzaros has the puck now, looking for Gannon out in front off his stick. Burnett over to Bailey. Bailey trying to deke around a defender. Burnett keeps the play in the Tennessee zone. And now rung around to Gannon. Gannon with the pass out in front. Deflection attempt by Mazzaros. Didn't have a ton of steam on it. And now a pad save and a covering from Simons off the stick of Bailey.
And you got to figure it's going to take a very similar type of goal from the Dogs in order to get one in.
Rebound, huh?
Exactly. You're not just going to be able to get, a good shot off. Going to need a deflection. Going to need to rebound and stick with your play.
Dogs are doing a great job of sticking with these plays here in the third period as Tennessee clears the zone by way of Cohen. Trying to get it to Isles. Instead, finds an Ice Dawg in Evan Moore. Bailey with it now. Gains the blue line. And now Mazzaros with it. Mazzaros to Moore, and he scores! One-timer for Evan Moore, and the Dogs take the lead with the snap of a finger. Beautiful play from the Dogs. Mazzaros finding Moore, and that line of Bailey, Mazzaros, and Moore, that top line showing why they're the top line.
Beautiful puck movement there. And again, getting a nice pass across the crease, finding essentially an open net as Simons wasn't able to get across in time. Makes it 2-0 for the Dogs.
2-1, the Dogs lead it. We talked about how important that next goal was, and the Dogs are the ones to get it. Got to keep the pressure on, though. Big hit by Alexander Strauss up high on Rose. No call. Dogs really showing some physicality. They've got a pep in their step now. Here comes Hedquist. Hedquist dekes around a defenseman, trying to go backhanded. Didn't quite get a ton of lumber on it, but the Dogs will have an offensive zone face-off after Simons covers up.
All things seem to be going the right way for the Dogs in the last 5 or 6 minutes here. Start off third period very similar to the first two. Now with 2 quick goals here, and Dogs got to be feeling good.
Crazy how much a goal can do for your confidence, right?
Oh,
that
absolutely.
one goal has really changed the energy in the building, changed the energy on the ice. Conway on the draw. Puck finds Cooper of Tennessee. Brente tried to keep it in, couldn't quite do it, and now Conway sends it right back the other way. Simons will leave it behind his net. Rose on it. Strauss pinching in. Strauss has had a physical game, that's for certain. Now Tennessee looking to break out. Approaching 9 minutes to play. Dogs protecting a newly found 1-goal lead as Testino traps that one against his chest with the glove.
And it looks like going to get some changes from the defensemen for Georgia after that. But a great stand there from Poole and Strauss. We saw a big hit from Strauss right in front of us here on the red line.
Just got to let him know you're there.
Oh, absolutely. There's a line between too aggressive but still making your presence known and getting some big hits.
Jake Green on the puck now. Chips it in. Goes to chase after it himself. He'll win the race. Has the puck circling around and spins it right back around for the captain, Whitwer. Whitwer drawing that penalty, leading to the Dogs' first goal on the power play. That goal scored by James Hedquist. Evan Moore with what's currently the leading goal for the Dogs. That one even strength. 8.5 minutes to go. Dogs protecting a 1-goal lead. Ranked as the #1 team in my hockey rankings with Tennessee 6 would be a statement win to show that they deserve that ranking. Puck loose out in front. Now to the left of Testino's net, now behind him. He locates it now. Shot from the point goes wide, maybe took a deflection. Big hit by Truman Hagen in that corner. Puck loose in the slot. Hagen comes away with it, and now he gains the red line and chips in. He'll go for a change as that one is eventually gloved down by Lincoln Simons. Held on to it for a little bit of time there. Laracy on the forecheck, trying to do some stick lifting. Now Burnett with a good block. Burnett on the puck, can't quite get it all the way out. Now some dangerous traffic out in front. Testino does a good job to keep his eye on the puck, though. And now Laracy, good to slow things up for the Dogs and just send things back out to neutral ice. 7.5 minutes now. Frazier on it for Tennessee. They're looking for the equalizer. Gets the deflection from Cohen out in front. Save made by Testino. Another chance. Glove save and a beauty. Ryan Testino. The Dogs ice the puck for a breather, but Ryan Testino with highway robbery.
Oh, absolutely. A couple of great saves there from Testino. Huge win. All things seem to be clicking for the Dogs after getting 2 quick goals. And now Testino still doing his thing over there in the crease.
There was a lot of net to shoot at, and Testino said, no, there's not. I believe that was Tyler Isles firing that shot. Now Mehring with it, another glove save from Testino. I believe now he's looking around for the puck.
Will be a glove save there.
That one a little bit easier for Testino. I think it was going high of the net anyways. And after that icing, now a frozen puck, a chance for those skaters that were forced to stay on to get to the bench. Both top lines out there with 7 minutes to go in this final period.
We know that Tennessee line has played a lot of hockey this game. We'll see if they can keep it going here at the final moments of the third period.
They sure have. Frazier, Isles, and Cohen. Frazier tried to get it to Isles, instead all the way back to the defenseman Cooper. He's definitely registered a lot of ice time. A great play by Ryan Bailey. He goes down. Now Evan Moore bearing down on net, has his shot saved. Had Mazzaros to his right, opted to shoot. Looking for an insurance goal that would be massive for the Dogs. Would definitely save them some stress defensively. Now here comes Frazier. He fires to the right of Testino. 6.5 minutes to go. As Strauss was having his stick held, no call. Tennessee fires in deep. Time and space for Leighton Poole. He's chased out from behind the net. A nice move sends a defenseman to the ice. My goodness, Leighton Poole, but now that defenseman Pavic has the puck. Pavic with the shots. Pad save by Testino. Mazzaros misses on his check. Shot blocked by Ryan Bailey with his right skate. And now Mazzaros has the puck, and he can send it in deep. Under 6 minutes to go. Dogs protecting a narrow 1-goal lead. Parente on the forecheck, joined by Hedquist. Does a good job pressuring Tennessee as Hagen gets bumped by Pavic. Behind the net now, Martin. Hedquist trying to get to it. Instead, it's Ani for Tennessee. And now a shot from the left point from Rose up into the netting for a whistle. Under 5.5 minutes to go.
And Georgia really does not need to give up too many shots here. You never know when one might be able to go in. 2-1. I know we've talked about the saying, a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous in hockey. I know you hate that. Clearly 2-1. I don't know how much more dangerous it can get than that.
It can't get any more dangerous than 1 goal. I can promise you that. Kyle Stober on the draw for the Vols, facing off against Declan Conway. Stober comes out on top. Tennessee able to keep the puck in the Georgia zone. Truman Hagen to the puck. Now he's been on the ice a good bit tonight, that's for sure. Good block by Conway. He's able to chip out, relieve some pressure for the Dogs. 5:15 to go. Will chip it in deep for Spranklin to chase after. Dogs putting the pressure on him with Bill Martin. Puck comes free. And now Tennessee on it. Schneider. And a save made by Testino. And for Testino, he was playing so well all game when it was tied. Now from behind, and now his first chance of the night to play with the lead, and he's playing just as well, if not better.
Oh, absolutely. Mentally, it seems like nothing's changed for Testino. And, I mean, he's played a lot of hockey for Georgia. So this is nothing new for him. Seems to be just as cool, calm and collected as he always is.
Second line forwards for Tennessee. That was Spranklin trying to get the shot off. It was blocked and goes back out to neutral ice. Tennessee has had a lot more of the puck over the last couple of minutes. Can Georgia weather the storm? Testino says yes, at least to that shot.
Seem to be getting a lot of shots in that midsection, which is what we've seen Simons get several of. I'm sure Testino's wondering, can you just send it to my glove or something so I don't have to take any more pucks to the middle?
Or can we get some time in the Tennessee zone is probably what he'd rather see.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Been few and far between over the last 2-3 minutes, I'd say, and there you go, another shot right on him. and he'll have to see another face-off. This game in the last few minutes has lived to your right. Approaching 4.5 minutes to go. Dogs were tied and then trailing for a large part of this game. Then got 2 goals in pretty quick succession as Ryan Bailey gains his own. Bailey, Moore, and Mazzaros, they combined for that second goal. Can they do it again here? Mazzaros takes a shot. We'll probably see the Dogs a little bit more conservative, at least with their defensemen, as Burnett and Gannon stay back pretty conservatively. Spranklin now gains his own. He's got Schneider and Stober. Mazzaros tries to clear, can't get it out though. And now it does come out of the zone, a delayed offsides, and all the Tennessee players will have to touch up. 4 minutes to go, period 3 here at the ice and Cumming. Dogs trying to avenge 2 losses from last season to the then D2 Vols, who are now D1, get the tone set for this weekend. Big game on the gridiron tomorrow, but got to take care of business on the ice here first as Alexander Strauss hits the ice. Now Parente trying to get it to Hedquist. Hedquist can't quite get it out as Rose sends it back in deep. All the way around to Parente. That's Cohen on it for Tennessee. Parente puts some pressure on, and now Parente could be in alone. There's going to be a penalty for interference, but it's a delayed call as Georgia's on the puck now. Hedquist, and now Tennessee touches up, and we will have a huge power play for the Dogs with just 3:20 left in this game. To be a man up for 2 of those minutes, absolutely huge.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, having 2 whole minutes where, I mean, obviously they can score shorthanded. I'm not going to want to try and jinx anything, but you basically have 2 minutes where you can try and keep it in your zone as much as you can. The key thing is a lot of the times on shorthanded goals, it's usually a breakaway and not really a setup on offense. So keeping those defensemen strong and not letting the Tennessee offense get behind them, getting any sort of 1-on-0 chance.
And for Cooper, that's his second penalty of the night, I believe. And it really was because of Parente putting pressure on him, didn't let him just have time and space at the point. He got a little fumbled with it and lost the puck. We'll see how aggressive Georgia is on this power play. If they care more about scoring or just preventing the odd man rush the other way. As Tennessee wastes a decent chance there to get something going shorthanded, and now Bailey with it out in front to Moore. He gets his second of the game and gives Georgia a 2-goal lead. Some extracurriculars after the goal. Georgia might be sending someone to the box, but more importantly, they extend their lead to 2 goals with just over 3 minutes to play.
Could not have really asked for much more. I mean, that's pretty much exactly what they wanted.
Much more?
Much
Was
more.
that on purpose?
It may or may not have been. Great goal there by Evan Moore to make this a 2-goal lead for the Ice Dawgs.
A third period statement from Georgia. Looks like Alex Laracy to the box. So right after the power play goal, Georgia will be on the kill, and would not be surprised if we see Lincoln Simons leave the net pretty soon here for a 6-on-4 chance for Tennessee.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if pretty much as soon as Tennessee gets the puck, because you have to get 2 goals here. So you're probably going to pull him with 2.5, 3 minutes to go anyway. Now you have a 2-man advantage. That's huge for them.
He stays in the net for now. We'll see if he comes out as soon as this puck enters the Georgia zone, and there he heads for the bench. Tennessee gains the zone. That's Rose with it. Now for Tennessee, it's Frazier. Back to Rose. Rose fires, and that one's deflected just wide by Cohen. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this one. Approaching a minute and a half to go on the Tennessee man advantage. 2-man advantage with the goalie pulled as well. Rose at the point. Goes to his left to Frazier. Frazier cross ice for Cooper. He mishandles. Second time we've seen that from him over the last couple of minutes. Frazier with it again. He fires one that doesn't get through. Cohen between the legs. And now loose puck out in front. Georgia wisely just bats it to the corner. 2:15 to go. 1:10 on the power play. Here comes Rose. Rose over to Frazier. Frazier, loose puck out in front. Spranklin trying to put it home. Can't get it done. Testino, a brick wall in net tonight. A loose pass, and now Bailey fires it down the net and into the empty net. Ryan Bailey with the empty net goal from beyond mid-ice. And this one's just about done and dusted. It's 4-1 good guys.
That was a great shot there. It looked like originally he was just trying to send it deep, and just kill some time, but he found that area between the posts, makes it a 4-1 game.
Play that fight song. Hopefully the fourth of many times we hear it throughout the weekend. Tennessee will stay on the power play, but Lincoln Simons returns to his net, and Drew King might be throwing in the towel here.
Got to be a huge sigh of relief for the Dogs there after a long time where it was 2-1.
Hey, and you said it. Once you score one, that can really break things open, can't it?
Absolutely. I think we saw it there. I mean, all 4 goals here being scored by the Dogs here in the third period. All it took was one, a few minutes later a second, and then 3 and 4 seemed to come pretty naturally.
4-1, a minute 43 to go in this one. 40 seconds still on the Tennessee power play, but a very comfortable lead for Ryan Testino and these Dogs. Leighton Poole gets the puck. Anywhere will do. As a save made by Testino, and now over around to Whitwer. He lays a bit of a bump. And now at the point for Mehring. Shot from Frazier, save made by Testino. And going back to that empty net goal, it's interesting because Bailey was beyond the red line, but because it was a power play for Tennessee, he didn't even have to worry about icing trying to fire it into that empty net.
That's a great point. If it missed, the clock still would have just kept on running. So either way, a good play by Bailey, but helps when you add that extra one to the scoreboard.
Sure does. A minute and 18 to go. 15 seconds on the Tennessee man advantage. Dogs looking to close out a win, stay undefeated on the season, increase their lead over Tennessee in the College Hockey South standings to 2 points. 3 points, excuse me. Hurlbert with it. He sends it back in deep. Dogs content to just make Tennessee pass it around the perimeter. Hurlbert fires, save made by Testino. Boys, he had a good one in net tonight. A tough man to beat. And he had to be. Keeping the Dogs in it for quite some time when they were struggling to find the back of the net, but he got the job done. Now back the other way, here comes Tennessee. Power play is over, 5-on-5 we are, as Simon still in the net. Tennessee giving up on this one. 30 seconds to go in this one until the horn sounds for the Dogs. 12th win, of the season. Puck out in front, though, and that one fired wide. You know Testino won't want to give up another in the dying seconds of this one. 20 seconds to go. Ani with it. He fires, doesn't get through, and now Punzenberger gives it up to Laracy. Laracy pokes and gets back towards his defensive zone, and a whistle for icing with 7.1 seconds to go.
And Testino, as it stands right now, would be lowering his goals against average.
Which is a goals against average that's very difficult to lower.
Of 1.66, yeah. So you really know he doesn't want to give up that second goal and raise it anymore. But I'm sure he's just happy to get the win today. Not care so much about the stats.
Against his brother's former teammate, nonetheless, which we hit on at the start of the second period.
Indeed.
7.1 seconds to go until the Dogs will officially be victorious for the 12th time this season. And Truman Hagen content to just kill the puck in the corner. And the horn sounds. The Dogs take it by a score of 4-1 in a game where goals were hard to come by for quite some time. The Dogs explode offensively here in the third period.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we talked about Georgia hockey sometimes starts off a little slow in the first period. Well, this time it took until the third period before they really found their rhythm. And it seemed like once they got that first goal, everything just really clicked for them. They had a lot of zone time. And then Tennessee with a good amount of zone time there during the 6-on-4. But Testino staying strong. The offense, you had your big usual goal scorers who were contributing. Overall, just got to see what we can do to get it going sooner in the game.
All righty, well, that'll do it. Henry Cohen got things started with a power play goal for Tennessee, and then the Dogs getting one from James Hedquist before two from Evan Moore and Ryan Bailey. We'll go ahead and do our 3 stars of the game.
Starting off with the third star, got to give it to the goalie for Tennessee, Lincoln Simons. He kept him in it for basically 2.5 periods, as it was 1-0. I don't know the exact statistics, but a lot of really good play by him. At number 2, going to give it to Ryan Testino. Obviously, another huge game for him. having a lot of saves as well. So the two goalies at the 3 and 2, and at number 1, got to give it to James Hedquist getting that goal to start. But overall, just a lot of really great plays. Huge team win, more than anything, from this Dogs team to come from behind, down 1, and just rally behind a bunch of different guys.
Yep, the guys kept their composure, kept with it, and kept playing good hockey. They get the win 4-1. That is it for D1. Please hop on our D3 stream. They'll clean the ice, lay down a new sheet, and then we'll have D3, Dogs versus Vols. So go ahead and hop on the UGA D3 YouTube channel for that. Thanks for joining us. For Torin Smith and Ren Grimsley, I'm Will Hopkins.
Beautiful. All right, let me get in here. Yeah. Fix this up. Ren, do you mind tightening the camera?